You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm so very happy to be talking to you today. I took a little reprieve last week and regrouped coming out of that 25-week series that just propelled us into 2024 dynamically, man. I have been just keeping inventory of my own momentum and my own desire to just keep giving you guys some motivational aspects of inspiration. We know Mondays can be challenging. That's why Sonny's Monday Motivation exists, because it is not always easy to get started in the work week. And shouts out to all of you who are at your jobs right now, maybe listening, tuning in. I pray that you guys are having a wonderful day, that it is already being and doing everything that you hope it would be, and that you're letting the things that are not necessarily the most welcoming roll off your back. With that being said, I got to tell you this subjective matter for today's topic, and I'm going to really just keep it real. I'm going to give you something from my own perspective, and that's keep going no matter what. And I know that, that sounds just what it is, but it's not always easily put into position or put into action. We can know that, but that does not mean that we automatically subscribe to it at the point in time that we should. Because it's easy to keep going when the things like, you have a job that you do on a day-to-day basis and the work. It's easy to just kind of sometimes come to the job and do the work. But it may not always be easy to keep getting up and preparing yourself to go to work, because it may not be something that you enjoy. I'm not necessarily entertaining that space of conversation, but I am saying that when you're hit with obstacles or circumstances or things that you really are passionate about, and you may not have everyone in your belief system, but for sure it's important to you, this is why you got to keep going no matter what. Y'all know what time it is, y'all. It's Monday. Let's go. It's Sunday's Monday Motivation. Let's go. Welcome to Loudmouth Radio Network. My name is Sonny. As a former professional athlete turned entrepreneur realtor and the producer of Loudmouth Radio Network, I look forward to bringing content to you that empowers, inspires, and entertains you. Tune in each week as we have unscripted and unfiltered talks from entrepreneurship, real estate, politics, entertainment, comedy, LGBTQ topics, day-to-day life, and everything in between. All shows available on demand 24/7 on your favorite podcast platforms. San Jacinto, Temecula Valley areas, and throughout the Inland Empire. Are you looking to become a homeowner in 2024? Register today for the New Home in the New Year seminar hosted by Sold by Sonny. Let's get you from rental to homeowner in the new year. Get the latest insight of down payment assistance programs, whether you purchased a home before or purchasing for the first time. We want to make sure you're provided with the necessary information needed for you to buy your new home in 2024. Look forward to seeing you there.
Hello, my name is Takasha Smith. I'm the owner of Takasha's Kitchen, based out of Menifee in the Southern California area. As a chef and caterer, I provide private cooking classes, couples dinners, and private parties. As a female pitmaster, I am able to create a personalized experience for your family reunion gatherings. I create menus based on my clients' needs to have a more personal vibe. You can find Takasha's Kitchen on all social media networks such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and my YouTube channel at Takasha's Kitchen. And that's spelled TACASHAS Kitchen, KITCHEN.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Diamond Valley Lodge, the one-of-a-kind, unique, exotic dining experience for the whole family. Have dinner with real tigers at Diamond Valley Lodge's 100% safe, unique dinner party experience. Ever dine just feet away from a majestic Bengal tiger? Now you can. A magical evening under the stars with open-air seating in an exotic Zen garden, just feet away from some of the most majestic creatures on the planet, all crown jewels of nature. Dinners are served on Friday and Saturday, brunch on Sunday. Reservation only by calling 855-9-TIGERS or 951-390-2670 or visit diamondvalleylodge.com.
All right, guys, I said that I was going to share something. I'm going to give you a personal account of this topic today about keep going no matter what. I think that, a lot of us have had our own personal experiences and walks with challenges and things of that nature. And so even though you may not have participated in this, I do think it's something that's going to be relatable. And I pray that it gives you some inspiration to look beyond the circumstances, because that's sometimes what we have to do. Sometimes we have to psychologically push ourselves up beyond the situation that may be right in front of us. And that can come for many, many reasons. So I want to get right into it. So I actually wanted to let you know about the process of how sometimes when I'm thinking about the conversations that I want to have with you, I typically try to reach into my own realm of experience, whether it's past or present, and I look to find ways to take those experiences or even my thoughts. Maybe I read something that gave me a drive of inspiration to elaborate on. But I always try to subjectively think through the possibilities of how what I'm talking about can register to you, or it can hit home. So guys, for me, I had a experience that has shaped me to really look at the bigger picture for myself. But I literally had a project that I created, put together, and was very, very, very firm about the direction I wanted to take with it, the message that it was to convey. Even though it was something that was in a personal account for me, I see it as the bigger picture, that it could be a learning tool, that people can take something away from it. And even though they may not have had the experience, that it could inspire them in a way in which it could educate them and inspire them to see the deeper parts of it. And I think for the most part, if you've been following my content for a while, if you familiarize yourself at all with the brand of Loudmouth, I've always been about my core values, which is empower, inspire, and entertain. And so pretty 99% of the time, anything I'm doing is going to fall into that realm, right? So I had this significant thing that I was doing. And as I was in the process of developing it, I was creating different roles for individuals that I felt like could take part in it and can help to push it forward. And in that process, a lot of times when you're thinking about other people in reference to something that you're doing, your objective is that they'll sign on, they'll believe in what you're doing, they'll see the vision, and they'll say, okay, I'm either down with it or I'm not. And it's cool if you're not. But if you are saying that you're down with it, most likely, especially for me, I'm going to give you the background story. I'm going to give you the reason and justification of its existence. I'm going to give you the inspiration behind it. And overall, I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for it to do and how I foresee it, coming forth, and some of the things that I think can grow from it. And guys, when I tell you all, most of the time I think about stuff, I always know it's always primarily bigger than me. And that in itself can be intimidating. That in itself can be taxing. And that in itself can pose just challenges that can or cannot come with the circumstances. It's just what it is. And I've come to know that that's just my personality. That's just kind of the way I am. And even with my brand Loudmouth, I always knew that it was something that was bigger than me, but I felt like I could use this platform and this brand to expound on the different realms of myself and entertain people and educate people and bring people together. That's always been my foundation of what I've stood on and what I continue to stand on, right? And sometimes that can be such a lonely road, because I've had times where people have approached me and tried to, tell me in reference to my brand and, give their own thought or personal account of what they feel that I'm doing. And it's funny because people have opinions and they have a right to them. But what's the underlying factor is that my business, I have a one-word statement. It's a resource, right? And take it how you will, but it's a resource for various reasons. So with that being said, even on the entertainment realm, when I create content, whether it's the radio network, whether it's comedy, whether it's drama, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a film or web series, any of those type of parameters, it's a form of entertainment. So definitely I'm creating it to get the visibility, for people to watch it, for people to inject themselves into it, for them to listen to it, for them to share it. That's the whole objective. That's the wonderful thing about the arts. And I know that I am 100%, 2,000% a creator. Right. Which is why I actually did my bachelor's degree in video and film and started my master's in media and performing arts at Savannah College of Art and Design. Hey, alumni, what's up? But the duality of that situation is another reason why I made the decision to also go to business school to understand the marketing and the business side of things. You know, there used to be these statements back in the day about starving artists, that artists would starve to try to fulfill their life in art. And there is some truth to that. It's not just this, conformed stereotype. There is that real experience that people past and present can account. But with that being said, I think that when you are doing something and you're involving other people and you've given them disclosure, you've given them the background story, they've signed off, they've agreed to participate, then there becomes this level of expectation, right? And you're looking for what you have started or what you're doing to go full force ahead. Now, I know a lot of projects and things of that nature don't always come out. They don't always complete. They don't always meet the finish line. But I think when you're the person that's engineering it, this is where you have to keep going no matter what. And what I mean by that is that for me, for instance, I'll say, you know what, God, I have the start in mind, and it'll start a formatting and creating, and then I'll start logging it down, and it'll start, metamorphosing into the, whatever objective I have for it. Right. And then there's this part where I'm thinking about including other people. Right. And so whenever you're doing things like, anything that takes a team or it takes a massive amount of people to be involved, you can't think in one dimension. You have to be the creator. You also being a participant in what's pulling it all together. So in my world, that's a producer, right? So I know if I can't explain anything else, I know that I am a wonderful producer when it comes to developing things and creating things and then aligning the parts to it, right? And because of that, that means that I have to make sure that the logistics, or whether it's the locations, whether it's requirements of other people, if it requires permitting, just different things that it may be required in order for that project to get light and to take place. So there's a lot of logistics involved, right? And it goes without saying, I have a project management master's degree. Project management is just that. It's managing the project. It's putting things together. It's dealing with timelines. It may be dealing with a budget. It may be dealing with pulling resources together. It aligns all of those things, right? And so, guys, when I tell you for many, many, many things, I require participation of whether it's a person or I'm outsourcing something, or if it's individuals that are taking place in components of it, it requires all hands on deck. So just to give you an idea, when I filmed my series Still Great, I had 40 plus people on set. We shot in a real courtroom. We used, city municipality spaces. We were in the public domain. We had tons of people that were doing different things at different times, right? Excuse me. And so when you're delegating those tasks, everybody's looking to you to be the source of the direction of where they're going to go, which is where my director hat comes on, right? So guys, I'm kind of giving you this breakdown because there goes a lot into these type of processes. And I'm using my experience as a prime example why you have to keep going no matter what. So can you imagine having a project that is so significant that requires participation of various people, and you give them the opportunity to partake in it, they decide to do it, and then when it comes down to the process of everything coming together, you do everything you need to do, You get everything done. You're treating people professionally. You're respecting people's time. You're honoring their position, whether it's their talent, their experience, their knowledge, whatever it is. And you do what you say you're going to do, but then they don't show up, or they ghost you, or they just fall out. And we're talking about adults, people that are over 21, that are probably most likely in the profession that you're dealing with them in, and you're respecting them, but they don't reciprocate the same. Keep going no matter what. And so I'm telling you guys this because for me, when I have these kind of moments happening, it could be detrimental to a project. It could either completely cut your legs from up under you and put you at a point of stalling, or knock you out, or just, make the whole thing go belly up, right? When there's conflicting personalities, right? And you're trying to make everybody work. It could be any of those numbers of things. But when you're a person that is honoring the people that you're asking to come together with you, or they've committed to what you're doing, and they still don't show up, and they still don't do as they say that they're going to do and follow all the way through, what do? You got to keep going, guys. And I'm telling you this from my own experience, because this has happened to me. And I'm talking about dealing with people who claim that they are professionals, who claim that this is something significant within their reach, within their walk, within their career choice or their path. And when you have done all that you can do, and you've respected them, and you've showed up for them, and you've done everything that you could do to honor their space and position, and they don't reciprocate the same, you got to keep going no matter what. And I even say when it ties into family or friends, right? There's situations and circumstances where people won't show up for you. They won't be present for you. They won't support you. They'll see you, they'll watch you, and they'll observe you. This is that thing that, like, a lot of times you'll hear entertainers say that I get more love when I go other places and when I leave home. You'll find that you'll be, received more, or you'll be given more ability of opportunity. But then once you reach this pinnacle of success and validation, and then things are, rolling your way, it's ironic how those same people who did not acknowledge you, who didn't support you, who did not stand in your vision, or who did not that didn't do their part of what they said they were going to do. And you spin the block, and they come back, and then they see you in the space where you always were. You were always, forthcoming. You were always up and honest, and you were always inclusive to the process involving other people, but they weren't supportive of you. You got to keep going no matter what. Because then at that time, it's inevitable that they're going to see you. They're going to know that, wow, I had an opportunity, or wow, I was involved in something amazing that I didn't see, that I didn't believe in, right? Because if they believed in it, if they believed in you, they wouldn't ghost you. They wouldn't, cut your legs. They wouldn't try to sabotage you. And, I know a lot of people can say, oh yeah, this is a hater situation, da, 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 da. I'm not going to use the word hater, even though that's an easy way of giving one form of explanation. But I will say that ego can be so destructive, and people's egos will fool them and lead them to believe or think something that's totally not the circumstances, is totally not the reason, it's totally not the bearing of why anything may be happening, in a sense. And when egos are involved, people can be blinded, they can misjudge, it can create envy, it can create outright hate, it can create these static type of interactions, or these uncomfortable spaces and settings. And what do you do with that? You keep going no matter what. Because I feel like when you're knowing that you're not working in an egotistical way, when you know that at the bottom of the whole situation, your intentions are good, and you know that you're being respectful to other people, you're also respecting yourself. And that's the other part of it. Don't compromise yourself because someone else does not necessarily want to sign off on your vision or your dream. So when I tell you guys, keep going no matter what, I 100%, 2,000%, 1,000,000% encourage that you do so. Because for every bit of those moments happening, there could be something so much bigger and so much greater on the other side. And if you don't keep going, you don't necessarily know what's there for you. I know for me, I think that it forced me to have to come out of the physical realm of emotion. It had to allow me to come out of the physical realm of action and totally incorporate myself into the spiritual understanding of the bigger picture. And I think I just had to lean outside of my own understanding and say, God, look at this. I've been this way to these people or this person. I've been 100% in what I said and I would do. I respected these people's time. I've respected their position. I've even gone out of my way to let them know how much my appreciation is and invested in other aspects. And yet they turned away, or yet they ghosted me, or yet they disappointed, or yet they have just totally not even acknowledged the fact that they just dropped the ball and don't even have enough gumption as an adult to acknowledge the factor or say anything in regards to their own decision of action in regards to what I have presented or put before them. What is that? And what's amazing is that, and I can't explain for each and every person that may listen to this, how important it is to have a spiritual understanding of the universe. And, you know, some people may say God, they may not be a believer of God, but they may believe in a higher power, whatever your language is, right? But for me, I had to say, God, I don't know why this is happening, but I'm going to trust that what I am doing is purposeful, and I'm not going to allow the distractions to take me off course or to not allow me to keep going. And guys, when I tell you, it's something amazing that at those times and at those points that God will say, I got you. And then certain people will start coming into your alignment. Opportunities will start presenting themselves. Things will start validating your circumstances and your objectives and your ideas and your things that you're working on or working towards. And those are the moments when you know that you made the right decision to keep going no matter what. And I'm telling those who can hear me far and wide, keep going no matter what. Even if it takes you a little bit more, even if it takes you a little bit longer, even if it takes you to stop, regroup and keep going no matter what. Guys, thank you all for listening. This is a little bit longer than usual, but I pray that you got the point. Y'all be blessed.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.